Hello everybody. Pardon the lack of a shirt. I just got off a 10-hour shift, so I'm not wearing a whole lot of clothes right now. I've got some garbage on the bench that is slowly becoming less garbage, but we've already talked about that. And off the bench, I've got some not so garbage. Let's get into this. So, I guess I'll go from right to left. I'll go from left to right because you guys have kind of seen these before. This is my Beeman R9. This is probably the nicest gun I own, except for maybe my muzzle loader. Maybe. You guys have seen this on the channel before. I have 2 or 3 videos just dedicated to this, but for those of you who don't know, this is, I think, a Macari rifle, full custom stock, full custom internals, moderator with a, I think, Athlon scope. Yeah, Athlon scope, which I'm just absolutely in love with. Really nice stock here, adjustable butt pad. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is just kind of a cool moment for me. I have some really nice brake barrels on display here that it's just a small little collection. They're not all mine, and I'll get to that, but it's just a rare occasion that I see this many guns that are so far up my alley all in one place, and they're all just, they look so good together. So this is kind of taking a small step down, but arguably this is the king. This is the 97K. I think this was one of the first guns featured on my channel. It's in kind of rough shape right now. The stock is, at least, which I've talked about before. It's got some damage that I'm going to start getting into polyurethane. But this thing is my 100-yard tack driver of a pellet gun with the Hawk scope. I love this gun. Beautiful bluing, beautiful blue stock. I've got the stainless hex head hardware, which I'm going to swap back out for the Phillips head screws, but I'm going to polish them to get rid of the bluing because I like the polished look on those screws. Fully tuned Vortec kit, done up trigger, all the good stuff, button piston. Not quite, but pretty close to as far as you can go with the 97K, making around, what, 20 something foot-pounds, 22, 23 foot-pounds. Pretty powerful gun. Then we have, this is not my gun. This is actually currently damaged and not firing, but still in a very similar alley. This is a Diana, or an RWS Diana model 52, and somebody dropped it, if you couldn't tell. It's missing the cocking lever linkage, which is chilling out right here. This is supposed to be straight, and there's supposed to be male threading coming out of there. There's clearly not. This is a customer's gun that he's having me work on. I really don't know much about it, haven't shot it, but it's got some nice checkering on. I'm not sure what kind of wood this is. It doesn't really look like beech. It kind of looks like stained birch, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'd say it's birch, but it might be maple, but it doesn't really look like maple. But anything with checkering and a white line on that recoil pad is right up my alley. Let's look at the finishing. The bluing is decent. I think it's totally acceptable. I like that we get the labels kind of offset in a different color. I like that. I like that we get iron sights. Viral. Why don't we get iron sights on this? Unfortunately, there's just a crappy UTG scope, which is part of our project on this gun. It's going to be getting replaced with probably a Hawk. And also just to show that we're stepping down a little bit in quality, but not to a low quality here. We switched to a plastic from a metal trigger guard. I haven't shot this gun. This gun hasn't been shot probably in years. It hasn't been shot a lot, and I'm honestly considering, once I fix it, maybe buying it off him. This one I just kind of bought. I still haven't paid in full for it because we didn't know what it was until I did some research on it today. This is as far as I can tell, a Beeman QB36-2. Beeman / Shanghai air rifles. I don't really know how to tell the difference. But so this is an underlever, obviously. This is basically the nicest air rifle to ever come out of China, if you ask me. And just because there's not a lot of info on these guns out there, this is what it looks like. Plastic trigger guard, plastic end cap. But we do get some really nice, fully adjustable iron sights. Decent trigger. You do get checkering on it. 3 of these guns have checkering on them. It's weird that the Vairaos don't have checkering from the factory. I don't like that at all. And then we get a pretty tacky, hard recoil pad. Does it say what kind of... No, it doesn't say what kind of recoil pad that is. There's almost no markings on this gun. It literally just says made in China. Kind of interesting. I've shot it once, not at a target or anything. I'm going to take it out the next time it's not downpouring out all day and I'm not doing storm damage tree work constantly. I really like this thing and I'm buying it for $100, and I feel really bad because even though it's not on par with my Vairaos, this is a nice gun. I would say this is probably a $350 gun all day long. I would say it's right on par with this $450 gun all day long. It's got really nice sights. It's got an oil finish on the stock. The wood itself is clearly not as good as the wood on the RWS here. Not as nice. You can't see any grain whatsoever, almost. I forget what kind of wood it was that I read, but you can kind of see it in there. But it's got a nice stain, nice oil and finish. But the finish is kind of junky on the steel. It's not very good at all. If I keep this gun, eventually that will be one thing I do to it to make it look hopefully something like that. I mean, the bluing on the Vairaos is just so good. I haven't seen an Air Arms in person. I mean, a TX200 right there would really complete this lineup. Who thinks I should get an Air Arms TX200? I probably will eventually, but I don't know. Yeah, so this is just a fun little video I wanted to make, kind of showing off this current collection. Oh, and by the way, let's just add something to it, kind of in a slightly different realm, more modern brake barrel with the Norica Optima. And this little sack of shit right there. This guy. I love that thing. I hope somebody enjoyed this video. Hopefully some of the information here was semi-useful. I'm not an expert on the Dianas or the QB. I'm pretty knowledgeable about the Vairaos though, so if you guys have any questions about those, let me know. Also, when I picked up that air rifle, I also picked up this cool little, what looks like a single action 22 revolver, but it's actually double action. That's pretty cool.